Good evening, Samurai! Welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel, welcome to the Vortex. My name is Ezio and I will be your guide this evening as we once more, for the final time, venture it. Wow, we're getting ahead of ourselves, how are we? How's everyone doing? Well, I hope. Hail, Skelepuppy! Thank you very much for the 2-month subscription in a row! Welcome back to the inner circle. Hail, Spud Solutions, hail, Just Razer. Hail, Nintendo Nerd. Hey, Ezio, this is my cue to say hi and goodbye, for I have to get myself ready. Enjoy Twilight Princess, Nintendo Nerd. I do wish I was playing that as well, but we have Skyward Sword to wrap up. I know, but Twilight Princess holds a very special part in my heart. One day we will do a completion run of Twilight Princess. Well, maybe not completion, 100%. We'll say 100% of Twilight Princess, but hey, fair enough. Question for you. What's the music you use at the start of the stream? What, the epic guitar one? It is the English intro to Yakuza 0. It is an absolute amazing track. It's not on the official soundtrack. It's something the localization team did. But if you ever get the chance, look up the intro for Yakuza 0. Both the cinematic and just the music. Unless you mean this music, in which case this is Hyper Potions. And I forget the name of the track. I don't even have it written on the controls, I think. No, I don't. If you look down in the panels down below, it should have all the music I play on the stream, and I think links to where you can find it. But there we go. Anyway, with that said, with all the welcomes and intros, and also Bezos! Stop putting adverts for my subscribers. Just stop interrupting my stream as well. If you want to run adverts, run them before the stream or after the stream. Don't interrupt the gameplay. You blah. Anyway, with that out of my system. Well, in that case, I think if you check the panels down below, I've definitely got the Hyper Potions one as per the agreement with them on using their music in the stream. The intro for Yakuza 0 is that's just the other one, and I'm never the only bit of technically copyrighted music I have on the stream, and I'm not going to get rid of it until asked to because I just love it. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Sega, but I love that song. It is just, if I could find a way of playing it on the saxophone, I would. But anyway, could you type those in chat? Yes. Certainly. Hold on. Let's see. What am I doing? I've died. It's gone wrong. Ah. Hold on. Might also lose the jacket. It's quite warm this evening. I really should make a bot command for that. Yeah, Hyper Potions. To any streamers out there, if you want awesome music to use on your stream, Hyper Potions allow it. It explains in the comments on each of their track what to do. Basically, you can use it, just give us credit. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm more than happy to point people towards Hyper Potions. They're amazing. But anyway, our track's at an end. So you know what? I'm going to let it roll around. And give me a minute. There we go. Much better. With that said, this evening marks the end of Skyward Sword. Time to beat Demise, time to do the credits, time to do our intro, do our thoughts video, and then into the world of Kamurocho. But before then, come! Join me as we once more step foot into the Vortex as we continue to travel and traverse the world, the realm of The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Our destination lays before us, the controls are set, and as always, the switch still needs to be turned on. So let's go, shall we? Boop. Oh, ha, chat. Ha. Yes. One day, you too shall know of my OnlyFans. Not that I have an OnlyFans. Maybe I should get one. Boop. No, it's not happening. Sod off. I might get a Patreon. If push comes to shove, I might get a Patreon, but I have no idea what I'd have as a reward. I'd probably just do a Jim Sterling and say, just pay me $1 and it'll be fine. No, for the moment, I do... Look, bottom line of this stream, I do this stream for fun. I do this stream to give myself blocks of time to play video games with awesome people. That's why I stream. I don't do it for money. That's why I have a job. I can't earn enough from Twitch to actually quit my job. Not that I probably would, because I'd miss being able to go out and work and socialise and that bits and pieces. That's just the way I look at it. So there we go. Ezio hot tub stream. No. What about no? Most people will pay me not to see that. I can guarantee it. Anyway, you have a Yakuza back to 2. Might as well show us. I don't have the Dragon of Dojima. No. That's unfounded rumour. Very unfounded. Anyway, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, I've already done that bit, haven't I? Into the final battle with the Death God Demise. Master Ezio, I have important information for you. Once you enter this portal, my analysis indicates a 0% chance that you will be able to return unless you are able to vanquish your foe. Are you ready to proceed? I'm ready. Understood, Master Ezio. Know that even in this place that lies beyond the portal, they will be with you. Master, good luck. So you too are at this stage. You see, I love that. Playing, if you ever can, yeah, I love that. That's the thing, just when people are playing the game at the same time as you are. Playing along. So you decide to meet your end in battle after all. It pleases me greatly to see such misplaced valor, human. Take a moment to appreciate your surroundings from where we stand. This shall serve as your tomb for eternity. Hate for the gods that has boiled in my veins. You will taste all of it in the bite of my blade. The only question left is how long you will manage to remain standing before I take your life. Try to keep it interesting for me, won't you? When you fall, know your world and everything it is mine to dominate, mine to subjugate, mine to rule. When I finish with you, you can take solace in knowing your friends. Kin will soon follow, as I wipe all who oppose me from the face of this world. Do you enjoy playing co-op games? Not so much. I'm purely single player, me. Also, cheers, Skelly. Won't be long now. At last, the almighty power I sought for millennia. I will take the Triforce for my own. The world shall be under my foot for eternity! Oops. Hold on. Target locked. Demise. This eternal being has conquered time itself. It is the source of all monsters. According to the tales passed down through generations, it appears differently in each epoch and to each person who lays eyes upon it. Tell me more. It is clear that the Skyward Strike cannot be called down to your sword because this place is under the magical influence of Demise. Attacks using Skyward Strike energy will be impossible here. Got it. do I do the first stage of this fight? Right. Oh, come on, Link. No, that's not what I wanted. No. It'd help if I could get my shield parry down properly. No. Ah. Nope. Ow. No. Oh, that bloody hurt. Oh, that was too close. What a time to cough. I don't know. Extraordinary. You stand as a paragon of your kind. You fight like no man or demon I have ever known. This is not the end. My hate never perishes. It is anew in each cycle with no end. I will rise again. Those like you, those who share the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero, those are eternally bound to this curse. The incarnation of my hatred shall even follow your cow, dooming them to wander this bloke out sea in darkness for all eternity. I have confirmed the eradication of the Demon King. His residual consciousness has been absorbed into the Master Sword and is now sealed away. Second try, but damn, that was an epic fight. You have done well, Ezio. Ezio lay indeed. I'll have to get an emote of that, I suppose. Ezio, thank you. I think it's over. Finally, it's all over. Nice going, you two. You guys were totally amazing on that little adventure. I like to call it The Legend of Groose. That's a little joke. Joke or not, your contribution to our efforts were heroic. You have my thanks. Oh, yeah, well, you know, just glad I could make myself useful. I'm happy things turned out okay. Hey, so things look pretty swell up here. What do you say, guys? Ready to head back to our own time? Granny was really worried about you two. You don't want to keep the old girl in suspense too long. Nani? Ezio, Your Grace, or perhaps you prefer Zelda. It pleases me to know you were safe. Master, I must speak with you. Master Ezio, you have successfully protected the Goddess Reborn and defeated Demise, fulfilling your role as the hero of legend. My purpose here is complete. Therefore, I ask you to dissolve our arrangement as master and servant. Drive the sword into the pedestal before you, and I will return to the Drive the sword into the pedestal before you, and I will return to the sword and enter a sleep without end. Master, you have achieved the purpose you were chosen to fulfill. Please, set the sword on the pedestal and bring the goddess's mission to an end. Now, Master, it's time to conclude our necessary companionship. Ezio. Ezio, hear me. My purpose was to obey the command of the goddess and lead you, the chosen hero of this land, on your quest. When I first awoke and began this task,
I perceived it as merely serving my function as a servant to her goddess, her grace. However, I have come to consider the information corresponding to our time together almost the most precious data I have on record. I do not have the capability to fully understand the human spirit, Ezio. But now, at the end of my journey with you, I am prepared to sleep within the Master Sword forever. I experience a feeling I am unable to identify. I lack sufficient data to be sure of my conclusion, but I believe this feeling correlates closest to what you people call happiness. Our partnership is at an end, and even as we speak, I feel my consciousness fading away. Before I enter the sleep that calls me to the sword, I wish to relay to you words that I recorded many times over. Many times over the course of our journey. Many have said them to you thus far, but I now wish to say them for myself. Thank you, Master Ezio. May we meet again in another life.
Oh, Fee. I... Anyway.
What? Impa? Why? Come with us.
Oh, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one crying. Anyway.
Zelda, your grace, you possess the memories of the goddess. You must understand why that is not possible. I am a being of this age. My place is here. I know that, but you must return to your own time. I will take care of the gate once you have passed through. I can't do that. You and I have been through so much together. I want you to leave. I don't want to leave you alone. Please, Emperor, come back with us. Zelda, at the command of the goddess, I passed through the gate of time. I did so to protect you and aid the fight to prevent the world's destruction. The last remains of demise are decaying slowly within the sword. Someone must stay behind to watch over this blade. His spirit may not reawaken. He must never... Oh, yeah. His spirit must not reawaken. He must never be allowed to threaten the world again. This is the nature of the task given to my tribe. As a member of the Sheikah, the goddess's chosen guardians, I gladly welcome this duty. Zelda, I shall watch over the Triforce. Its power is too great to leave in the grasp of man. Dependence on its might is an invitation to disaster. When it has served its purpose, it must be secreted away to lie dormant once again. Knowledge of its existence hidden from mortal history. These are the words the goddess spoke to me long ago. I remember them well, as do you, I'm sure.
Right, anyway. Yeah, I am. Steve, bye, man. Just bye. Anyway.
Do not despair, Zelda. You and I will surely meet again someday.
I still love the design of the Gate of Time, by the way. Wish that makes a return at some point in the games, but you never know. I especially love the design on it. I've got it on a t-shirt that came with the game as well. Bye.
I told you we'd meet again. Impa, thank you. Thank you for everything. We have it.
Tell you what, yeah. Hail Spud Solutions. Cheers. And there we have it. Oh, jeez.
Might take me a moment to pull myself together after that one.
Second time I think I've ever cried on stream, but there we go. That ending, man, though. Bye. The problem is now I need to technically talk over the credits when I got hit by a bloody music thing, so there we go. So whatever, we'll power through, shall we? But yeah. Hell of a game. And it was quite nice revisiting after all these years, especially with better controls. That ending... That's some whiskey too, mate. Only fitting for the end of a journey. Hold on. Let's see if I can actually talk now while I'll be also being able to breathe. So, yes, there we go. It's quite nice to revisit this game. Wow, it's been absolutely brilliant revisiting this game. Oh, right, these are all the scenes that we didn't see in the story. How Zelda met Impa. Oh, Gordon Bennett came. Stop sucker punching me. Yeah, that final battle with Demise, though. Oh, Lord. Once I managed to get the rhythm down, it was so... it was bloody amazing. Just being able to shield parry him and then take him down. And bless the devs for the whole... the fake outs with the final... with the finishing blow. Bless him, it was bloody amazing. Also, this music. Also, hail, Gallipoppi! They have heard the words of the great techno-necromancers and the vampiric masters, yes, my friends, in the name of the great prophet Gary, and upon this most hospitable of events, they have undone the binds and released the locks upon Alpha Centauri! There we go. We miss you, Gary! We miss you, Gary! But yes... there we go. Now that I finally managed to calm down, that ending with Fi. When I first played this game, I spent, well, admittedly I was talking to myself because I wasn't streaming it, but I spent most of my time complaining at Fi and just going, oh, shut up, you're stating the obvious, blah, 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 blah. And then, right at the end, that cutscene where it just threw me. As proven even now, it still throws me. Oh, bloody hell does it throw me. Not so much with Impa and Zelda. But then again, we didn't get to know well, we got to know them a bit through the game, but not as much as we did with Fi. I mean, she went through everything with us, and, well... it's nice that she sort of made a small return, Breath of the Wild. Cheers, Skelly. But there we go. In just over half an hour, we finished the game. Now what a legend. Oh, good, Bennett, stop kicking me in the fails game. I still have to do a faults video on this game by the end of it. Good lord, how am I going to manage to do that? Hey, cheers, Skelly. Oh, well. Men aren't supposed to show emotions, bloody, bloody, blah. Stuff off with that. I'll show emotion if I want to. Also, the boat. I'm kind of surprised that the Great Deku Tree didn't make an appearance in this. Okay, technically the big tree probably is the Deku Tree, but I was hoping for big talky tree, preferably with a moustache, but no, apparently we don't get that. There we go. A lot of good lore building. How fun? I don't know. The only thing that sort of irks me a bit with Skyward Sword is it's the beginning of the Zelda timeline, but they also keep pulling the millennia sort of thing, and it's just, right, you do realise a millennia is 1,000 years. It's just... It's a long time, I know. Excuse me, but try and pull that. I mean, look how far humanity's come in 1,000 years. It's just, you know, things aren't that stagnant, so... I don't know, I usually take that in mind and half it, so it's about 500 years. I mean, think about 500 years in real-world terms, even 200 years. The way we've came from in 200 years, 300 years, so that sort of makes a bit more sense to me. I mean, in a millennia, not as many things would remain standing as, say, the Lineru mining facility. Bless you, fine. I mean, the Skyward Temple sort of gets a base off it because that's where the Temple of Time was going to inevitably be built. I think this is more the Temple of Time from Twilight Princess, then. The architecture looks sort of similar, more so than the Temple of Time in Ocarina of Time. There are similarities, but then again, maybe it's just a technological thing, and if they did a full remake of Ocarina of Time, proper big grandiose scale, maybe they'd make it look more like this, but who knows. Nintendo. Oh, good night. Blimey, right. There we go. Apart from... You, sir, are a muppet. I haven't forgotten what you said. Oh, my daughter's missing, but unfortunately it's Cruce's friends. My daughter's missing, but what's that link? You can't tell me where she is. Oh, okay, then. What are you on about, you great moron? No wonder you turn into an owl. Right. I wonder if the bird statue's still in the little altar. Oh, now he's playing proper notes. Wait, is this where Zelda's lullaby comes from, then? Link composes it for Zelda. And they return to Skyloft. Well, it's not the end for them, is it?
Look around us. As a child, I always dreamt of a world below. I wanted to see the surface with my own eyes and feel the land's warm breeze on my skin.
Go to Death Mountain then. I mean, Elden Mountain then. That'll be... Oh, no, you've already been. Never mind. Go to the crater. Anyway.
I think I want to live here. I always want to feel solid ground beneath my feet, see the clouds above my head, and watch the Triforce. What about you, Ezio? What will you do now?
Oh, her bird did survive. Oh, okay then. That's a thing. I'm guessing that's symbolizing that they've broken their link with the sky. The end. You can play again in hero mode using this save data. Do you want to continue? Yes? Oh, right, no, never mind. Return to the title screen without saving. You'll still be able to select hero mode by starting a new save file. Yeah, return to the screen. Sure. Good, right, I can start talking again. You think they'll ever port Twilight Princess over to the Switch? Good question. I don't know. I hope they do. But it's not that long ago since they did the HD remaster of Twilight Princess. But at the same time, see, that's the thing. The HD version of Skyward Sword, Skyward Sword was originally on the Wii, so there's a lot that can be said for porting it over to the Switch in terms of graphical fidelity and just improving the controls, a la controller. But I can't. Twilight Princess, they already ported over to the Wii U. Would they port it again over to the Switch? They could, yes. It wouldn't take them much to port. Well, we saw how lazy they were with the Super Mario 35 ports, so it's entirely possible. It would take a bit of jiggery-pokery to rip out the whole dual screen thing between the Wii U and the controls, because on the Wii U, obviously, you had the controller with the screen and the map and stuff. They'd probably have to rip that out, do a bit of jiggery-pokery, but at the same time, they wouldn't have to do much to port it over. maybe work on the frame rate. I can see it being, it's not outside of the realms of possibility, but I can't see them doing it for a while yet. Not for a very long time. I think we'd more likely well, it's like Ocarina of Time. It's not that long ago since they did a HD remake of Ocarina of Time and a HD remake of Majora's Mask. Would I like to see ports of all of the Zelda games onto the Switch? Yes, but I'm willing to put money on them not porting Twilight Princess until the Legendary Switch Pro is released, because that'll probably be a system seller. If they can get it into a state where it'll work better on the Switch Pro, they'd probably use that as a system seller rather than porting it over to the normal Switch. But who knows? It's Nintendo. I mean, and also, they're a business. Let's face it. As much as we like to look at Nintendo with a nostalgic eye, and I'm switching over to the gateway. As much as we like to look at Nintendo with that sort of, that eye of nostalgia and go, yes, Nintendo can't do any wrong. They'll do brilliantly. It'll be all awesome, and that's it. They're still a business. They're still in it to make money, so it'd be foolish not to leave the money on the table, because, let's face it, with how well the Switch has sold, it is going to be a massive... Look, there's a lot of Zelda fans. I'm a Zelda fan. I would buy Twilight Princess, the Collector's Edition, in a heartbeat. I bought the special edition of Skyward Sword. So there we go. And Skyward Sword, when I first played it, was not really my favourite of Zelda games. I thought the story at the time was a bit lacking, and I thought that... But the controls... The controls definitely killed it, a lot of it for me. I mean, it was an interesting thing, but it felt very gimmicky. The fact that I've played this again with normal-ish controls, and the way it all works, and I've actually sat down and mostly, I suppose, because I've been sat down with all you beautiful people as I've streamed this game, I've sat down, I've paid attention to the story in greater detail, and I've picked up a lot more than I did previously. Like the Gorons. I completely forgot the Gorons were in this game. And here they were, and they were a blast. And I love our Goron friend. I'm called Brian. Brian Blessed. I forget his actual name, but there we go. Give more Toon Link. Look, Wind Waker will make it onto the Switch as well. To be honest, when's the next Zelda anniversary? This was 25th. When? No, has there been a Zelda 35th anniversary yet? Maybe 4th. One of the Zelda anniversaries, they'll probably do a best of collection. To be honest, what I can see happening is either... I could probably see a Hero of Time sort of thing. There's so many things they could do. They could do like an Ocarina thing, or they could do the early history, or the Ocarina timeline of Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask ported to Switch. They could do a Hero of Time thing where they've got Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, or... Well, you've got Wind Waker, so you could do Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You could do... Well, there's a lot they can do, to be honest. They could do quite a few game packs, but don't know. Don't know. It's all in the future. Whatever happens, happens. I might hook up my Wii U and see if I can finish Twilight Princess. To be honest, at some point, so long as my Wii U still works, I can't imagine why it wouldn't. It's in a box up in the loft, but... At some point, if I find the space, maybe I'll disconnect my PS4 and set it up. I'll have to try someday, soon, TM. I'll try and hook up my Wii U, and at some point I will play Wind Waker and I will play Twilight Princess on the channel. Twilight Princess, as I mentioned in the afternoon stream for those of you who are here, was the first console game I ever played, ever finished, at least. Well, it was the first console game I ever finished, we'll say it that. That holds quite a special place in my heart. It never hit me as hard in the feels as Skyward Sword did. But I also remember how Midna was as a companion, and yeah, I'm entirely certain that you probably get some waterworks at the end of that game as well, but I don't know, just something about Fi just hits me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the whole master-servant sort of dynamic she has with Link, and eventually they're friends or whatever, but trust me, when we do our run of Breath of the Wild, I will be fanboying over the moment that we get the Master Sword, and I'll be fanboying over the fact that when... If you've played Breath of the Wild, you know what happens. Anyway, if you're paying attention to the Easter eggs. But anyway, I waffled, and I really shouldn't have, because now we've got the thoughts video to do. Now that I'm able to actually function again, and I'm no longer... Anyway, well, you saw that. Just wait until we play Metro Exodus. That's only 2 games so far have made me cry at the end of them. Metro Exodus, I was in tears, and the end of this game, I was in tears, as you just saw. So there we go. Anyway. Real-time shadows is all I have wanted for this game and Twilight Princess. It improved Wind Waker HD so much. Fair enough. Anyway, I said that about 6 times there. Let's crack on with the thoughts video before we move into the next hour of the stream. Maybe 2 hours. I might run the stream longer this evening. And we start Yakuza Kiwami. So, okay, Ezio. No time like the present, so let's begin around about... Hold on, I'll check the, hold on. Game's ready. Okay, right, Oh, that's disappointing. No more anniversary releases. I'll read that in a bit, Skelly. But anyway, right, with that, okay, Ezio, let's start around about... here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of No Holds Barred, our little thoughts videos at the end of all of our journeys, where I basically sit here, waffle on for about 10 minutes, and contemplate my thoughts about the game we've just finished. And as you may notice, the game we've just finished in the title, as well as right there, is The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword HD. This is a game I originally played back on the Wii when it was released. I even got the collector's edition. I got the one with the fancy gold Wiimote with the motion plus all inbuilt into it. And I got the soundtrack. At the time, it was sort of a bit lackluster for me. It never really ranked very highly. The story was okay. There's certainly bits at the ending, no spoilers obviously, but there were bits in the ending that definitely had me in tears. But I could never really get past the whole gimmicky nature of the control scheme. Enter the HD remake, released a few months back. At the time of recording, it's probably the closest I've actually got to a release date for a game for a while, where one of the most important things they've upgraded, you can use a normal controller. Controls, however, are a bit screwy, as one might expect from a game that was originally designed for motion control. Gamer instinct says, the right analog stick is your camera. No, it isn't, it's your sword. You swipe up to slash up, down, slash down, left, right, blah, blah, and you get the idea. To use the camera, you hold down the left shoulder button. So for a lot of it, I was pulling out my sword and randomly hitting things, going, right, what's over there? Oh, right, that doesn't work quite well. Okay, what's over there? So once you manage to wrap your head around a different control scheme than you're used to, this game plays so much better, at least in my personal opinion, than it ever did with the motion controls on the Wii originally. I've not used the motion controls in this game. Didn't particularly fancy using the motion controls in this game, but from all other sources, and feel free to go and fact check me on this, the motion controls are as tight as they've always been, which is fine. Well, okay, they're tight. I don't know if it's always been. It's been a very long time since I last hooked up the Wii and used the controls, but there we go. I can imagine they're tighter because of the improved technology, but they're either way. But yeah, I played this entire game through on the controller, normal difficulty, as you can see right there. We have done our usual 100% completion. We've not done full completionist, we've not played it on hero mode, we've not done the full gauntlet challenge to get to max out our wallet, because, to be honest, by the time we were reaching the final quarter of the game, I'd pretty much maxed out all of my gear, everything anyway. We could have done a few more pouches and upgrades in here and there, but I didn't really see much of a point. There's a crafting system in this game. You go around the world, you collect little artifacts and bits and pieces and crafting components from various places, and then you go to a chap in the bazaar, the market of Skyloft, which is your central hub, basically, and you can upgrade your gear. So we've got the bow can be upgraded about 3 times, so can our beetle, which is like a little, well, it's a flying scarab beetle that can pick up things, and it's marvellous. Quivers, bomb bags, slingshots, most of the gear some gear bits don't upgrade, which is understandable. Other bits we have fully upgraded. Our sword we upgraded, but that's part of the course of the story. Yeah, so for the most part, upgrading system's brilliant. It's a bit faffy with the way the components work, but it's fair enough. Rupees are fine. You buy a bunch of different components. You find collectibles throughout the world, which you can then use to further your character build. It's pretty basic stuff in the day of massive games like Skyrim and the Outer Worlds and etc, but for the most part it's a fun story, it's a fun little mechanic, and you don't need to do it, but I would seriously recommend doing it. It's not that difficult, so yeah, give it a shot. We've got all of our heart containers. Our health is at full, it's at max. We've bought 2 heart medallions, we collected how many heart containers there were. We got all of the goddess cubes throughout the entire world of Hyrule, and well, it's not Hyrule in this game, it's the surface and the sky. We've got all the goddess cubes, which is another level of collectibles, unlockable chests that you can find as you progress. And we unlocked all the songs. You get a harp. As per with usual in Zelda games, you get a musical instrument. However, unlike Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, or even the Wind Waker, you don't really get a chance to let loose with it. All Link does is strum a harp. Just diddling, 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 diddling. Would I have preferred it if I had an Ocarina of Time style system where I could actually play the songs where I wanted to by pressing buttons? Yes. Do we get it? No. Is it the end of the world? No. It's not the end of the world. It would have been a nice to have, but in the most part, it doesn't really come into it. You play the harp a bit and something, and a gossip stone appears, or you get a fairy or something. But yeah, in terms of story, this game takes place at the start of the easy-to-follow and very simple Zelda timeline. No, wait, that's not it. But yeah, this is the easiest game to position. This is the beginning of the Zelda timeline. This tells the story about how Zelda becomes Zelda, how Link becomes Link, the hero, etc, etc, etc. It's not a massive cast of characters. There are a lot of interesting secondary characters. There is one character in particular, no spoilers, once again, who you meet early on in the game, and the entire character arc around him is absolutely fantastic. He easily is one of my favourite characters in this game, especially one cutscene. Once again, I really want to spoil, but I'm not going to. Because, basically, you should buy this game. If you were interested in Zelda, if you looked at a Zelda game and thought, that looks interesting, I'd say give this a shot. If you've got a Switch, give this game a shot. Give it a try. It's a fun game. Another thing I've noticed is this game has made me realise how much I've sort of missed the traditional 3D, well, not traditional. Traditional Zelda is basically top-down, running around. But the 3D Zelda, your Ocarina of Time, your Twilight Princesses, your Wind Wakers, I miss that third-person Zelda experience. You kind of get it in Breath of the Wild. You kind of get it. But they did so many different things in Breath of the Wild that to come back to the core Zelda design, you start off as Link, you clear dungeons, you clear temples, you get an item from the temple to help you backtrack and progress further into the game, you get the Master Sword, that's just brilliant. I can't tell you how much I missed that, or rather, I can't tell you how much it hit, how much I realised I missed that once I started playing this game. Even from the moment I opened it, and you hear that, well, you can hear it in the background now, that traditional Zelda titles, that save menu, the menu music. It's iconic in gaming. And it surprised me how much I missed that. It surprised me how much I missed the music in this game. Music in this game is top-notch, for the most part. There are a couple of moments, especially one towards the end of the game, where you kind of sit there and think, you could have done something really epic with the soundtrack here. Why didn't you? Which annoyed me slightly. It slightly irked me. I mean, the scene was fantastic. It was brilliant. It was great fun. But something like a Yakuza 0 music riff, or not even Yakuza 0, something like a Lord of the Rings sort of big orchestral fanfare of this is an epic battle sort of thing. That would have been amazing, but instead we sort of just got diddly 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 on repeat, and it's just But yeah, so we go graphics also. The HD remake, don't expect anything mind-blowing in terms of graphics, but they're good. Look, part of me is a bit burnt out on the whole, this horse is in 8K high definition, each hair is individual, and they eat and other things in real time. Yeah, no, we don't need that. I don't need that. Make a good game, make a game that looks decent, there we go. Do I like the character models? Not so much. I think Twilight Princess wins out still in terms of art style. I could say Wind Waker as well, but the cartoony aesthetic of Wind Waker is a brilliant thing, but I don't know. This seems... Something about the character designs, or at least the graphics seem a bit weird to me. I much prefer that sort of... I preferred how the game looked with Twilight Princess rather than this, but that said, it's not a game breaker. It's not a deal breaker in any sense, it's just the way it is. Lighting effects was well done, i.e. Demise's hurt, yes. Also, yes, Breath of the Wild is missing a lot of the Zelda Spirit music being a big part of that. Cheers, chat. Yeah, so chat's just chimed in. 2 very good points. lighting effects were brilliantly done, especially here. Demise, yeah, Lord Fruity, as I called him, because just the way he acts. But there we go. They're not politically correct, I suppose, in today's era, but there we go. But yeah, Demise is her. The lighting and the shadows in this game work brilliantly. They have done a very good, very faithful HD upgrade to this game. So I can't. So yeah, I can't remember how well it looked back on the Wii. It wasn't even back on the Wii. It wasn't an ugly game. It's just one of those things where the art style just doesn't gel with me very well. Your mileage may, of course, vary because, after all, art is completely subjective to each of us. And yeah, so yeah, that's Breath of the Wild. One of the things we'll cover when we eventually play Breath of the Wild on the channel. I'll cover the whole music aspect of it, but for the most part, yeah, the music has been an absolute joy. This soundtrack has been amazing. Especially, a lot of this game has been a love letter to Zelda games of old. It was released originally for the 25th anniversary of the Zelda franchise. So you have a few in-jokes here and there, like this is the 25th year that we've ran this competition, or even some of the songs you get, and just, well, a lot of the soundtrack pays homage to that, and I can't love them enough for it, especially in full orchestra. One of the greatest things for me in gaming was when soundtracks started using proper orchestras. I like my music, to a degree. I'm not up on all the bands and stuff, but decent music scores, decent soundtracks in games, I will always be happy. But there we go. I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully I've given you some ideas about what to expect from this game. Hopefully I've gotten my thoughts of how much I have enjoyed this ride across. Because as we know, especially if you've seen some of these videos, or at least some of my streams in the past, I do tend to ramble a bit. So if you've got any questions, feel free to drop a thing in the comments, or even stop by the channel when I'm live and ask me in chat. But either way, with that said, time for me to get out of here. So to each and every one of you, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this video. And may you all have a beautiful evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever it is around this whole wide world you are. And until our paths next cross again, the Vortex awaits, and I'll see you all next time. And there we go. That is the Thoughts video done and dusted. I shall sort that out tomorrow when I'm doing all the editing and move on to, well, it will be published on Friday, I suppose. I'll have to remember to schedule it for Twitter as well. Well, there we have it. End of Skyward Sword. I've said Twilight Princess so many times, I'm getting confused. But yeah, I agree, just raise that spirit, that Breath of the Wild. I know what Breath of the Wild was doing. It was doing ambience and stuff, but I can only remember two bits of music from that game. I can remember Kaz's theme, which is difficult for me to forget because I've learned it on clarinet now, so I know how to play it. And the music for when you enter Hyrule Castle and you hit the Zelda theme music, and it's just why isn't there more of this in this game? Instead they went for all the ambience and stuff, but the music missed a large spark of it. Also, the weapon system annoyed me. Just give me a decent sword, or better yet, give me a weapon system that I can have interchangeable, and then make it so it takes me a while to I had to work to unlock the Master Sword. Just give me the Master Sword. Give me Fi. Just give me an unbreakable sword that's able to cut through all enemies. Give me a sword that doesn't break, and then if you really want to, give it a damage bonus when I'm fighting the minions of Ganon. Just, that's it. But no, apparently we're not allowed that, or we weren't allowed that. So hopefully Nintendo have learned some lessons for that for Breath of the Wild 2, but we'll see. We'll also see more about Breath of the Wild when we eventually get to it. Current plan is that once we finish Yakuza Kiwami, I will start playing Breath of the Wild, because it'll take me so long to get through Kiwami that by that time I really need to start pressing into Breath of the Wild so we can set ourselves up for Breath of the Wild 2, which is coming out supposedly in 2022, but it may very well end up being in 23, 24, you know how games development sometimes goes. Hail, Flockit! Yes, Yakuza Kiwami coming up soon. But first, I am going to go, first I will go BRB. I need to change over to the PlayStation. I need to change over all the settings on the stream. And then we'll rerun the intro and we will start our journey into Yakuza Kiwami, but for now... Oh, hello. They could at least have changed the ambience depending on the area, different instruments or something, but they didn't. No, it was a bit lacking Breath of the Wild in terms of soundtrack, so yeah. Bit forgettable, which is a crime as far as Zelda games go, in my personal opinion, but there we go. And one day we really need to play Twilight Princess. I want to play Twilight Princess again so badly now, but we will wait. We will wait until the time is right. I lurked this entire game to avoid spoilers. How's it been? Well, just a quick summary of the thoughts video. Graphics, game still looks good. I'm still not a big fan of the art style, but in terms of the HD remake, the HDA remake aspects of it's fine. God, I've missed the orchestral soundtrack of the Zelda franchise. The music is top notch, though there is one bit towards the end where it should have been really sort of epic-y, yakuza-y, big fighty music, and it was just diddly 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 dee, diddly 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 dee, diddly diddly, and it's just that was a wasted opportunity. Characters are fine, story is brilliant, one of the character arcs is absolutely fantastic. Full 100% is not completely outside of the realms of possibility. I'd recommend doing a 100% run of this game because the game makes it relatively easy to do. And yes, the ending definitely made me cry again, which was to be expected, but there we go. Dang it, Fi. But other than that, yes, I can recommend this game very much so. Check out. Remind me if you're around on Friday. Remind me, and I'll drop in the link for the Thoughts video, or you can just watch it in the VOD. Either way, it's the last 10 minutes of this stream. I'll list this part of the stream. For Skyward Sword, I always like the motion controls, except for the menus. But it's great more people enjoy it now. I kind of like the idea of swinging a sword and doing that. I get where Nintendo was coming from with it, but at the same time, I'm more of a traditional gamer. I'm much happier holding a controller and pressing buttons and stuff than flailing around, especially if I'm streaming, because if I'm playing around, sooner or later I would have smacked the mic or smacked my hand into the desk. Entertaining for you, not so much for me. But yes, anyway, with that said, I'm going to knock everything into BRB. I'm going to switch over to Yakuza. Well, we'll set everything to BRB, and then we will switch over to... Hold on, where's my BRB screen go? There we go. To Yakuza Kiwami. So, see you in a few minutes.